Today we are going to talk about another material synthesis in inorganic synthesis lab. That is what we are going to talk about it, magnesium aluminum hydroxide. So already I discussed the same in the PPT. I will be sharing you. So here the practical how we are going to do on the synthesis of magnesium aluminum hydroxide. So magnesium aluminum hydroxide is called as a hydroxide material, or it is called as a layer double hydroxide. It is a double hydroxide, that is a hydroxide is of magnesium and aluminum, and it forms the layer structures, so it is called as a layer double hydroxide. Okay. Now the starting materials, we can see that here we have the magnesium nitrate. So the basically we know that 3:1 composition is the magnesium and aluminum. The magnesium should be 3 composition, that is 40 millimole we are taking, isn't it? 40 millimole we are taking, so already we have taken 40 millimole, and aluminum will be 13 millimole, 13.2 millimole. That's what I hear. The combustion is magnesium aluminum hydroxide we are going to synthesize. So we have taken magnesium nitrate and aluminum nitrate. So always the nitrate is the best source because it is easily soluble and it can be easily decomposed. And then we have the base. Base is required for the hydrolysis because it should be it is called as a soluble synthesis. Okay, in the soluble synthesis we will be using a sodium hydroxide as a base and sodium carbonate as a, that is a carbonate is going to be play important role on the intercalating space. So the more carbonate is there, that more of aluminum will be incorporated into the magnesium sites. So magnesium first form the Brookite structure, that is a octaedrally shared, that is edge shared octaedral is going to form the layer diamond structure. Then aluminum will be isomorphously substituted. So when the aluminum is substituting in the magnesium sites, you are generating the positive framework sites. The positive framework will be compensated with the carbonate anions. Initially it will be nitrate. Nitrates are quite labile, so it will be replaced with the carbonate and hydroxyl anion. So this is the background behind the synthesis. Now here we have the Srinavya, my research scholar. She is going to explain you, demonstrate to you how to prepare. Okay, fine, start. You can.
40 millimole magnesium nitrate we have taken in this beaker. So we are 40 millimole magnesium nitrate and 13.33 millimole aluminum nitrate we are together taking in this beaker and adding 96 ml water. We are dissolving the metal nitrates in 96 ml water.
Do you have glass rod?
Then
since it's a nitrate source, you can see that it can immediately dissolve. Okay.
Then we are stirring this solution continuously by keeping in a water bath at 65 degrees Celsius to dissolve all the metal nitrates in water to form aqueous metal nitrate solution. So this is a water bath. This is at 65 degrees Celsius. We are not keeping the beaker directly on the hot plate. Why? Because we need uniform distribution of temperature to our solution. That's why we are immersing this beaker into a water bath which is at 65 degrees Celsius. So then we are allowing the solution to stir gently. So we can see that all the salt is dissolving immediately in water. It forms a uniform solution, colorless solution.
Okay, this is solution A. Okay, this is a metal nitrate salt solution. It will be get ready in few minutes. In the meantime, she will be preparing base solution also. Okay.
So for preparing the base solution, we have taken 120 millimole sodium hydroxide, that is 4.79 gram.
So we need a large excess sodium hydroxide because we know that total how many millimole, 53 millimole of metal salt we have taken, but you can see that here 120 millimole of sodium hydroxide, which is a hydrolyzing agent. So it's basically need a excess base. So it will be like the pH will be around 8.5 at the end, so we can see that. So it need excess base to be made to prepare this hydroxide should be precipitated. Okay.
So we are adding 24 millimole sodium carbonate, that is 2.79 gram.
See, the amount of carbonate required is almost equivalent to what is the aluminum content, because aluminum going to give the positive charge, that much amount of carbonate required. But again we need to have little bit excess. So the excess ammonium carbonate, sodium carbonate and the sodium hydroxide needed. Then she is adding water. Okay.
So we are dissolving this in 80 ml water. So it will be difficult to dissolve. So what we have to do, we have to stir this solution for a while and it will dissolve immediately.
So we can use magnetic stir, or we can use by simple glass rod. We can use it and stir also. Okay.
You can see that sodium hydroxide and carbonate is dissolving slowly.
It's exothermic reaction.
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
exothermic reaction.
One should not do like this. Okay. Not touch. So you can see that clear base solution, that is a sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate clear solution. You can see that. In another way, here we have the clear metal salt solution. Okay, you can see the clear metal salt solution. You can clear solution. Okay. Now she is going to add a base.
So now, in order to precipitate, we are doing co-precipitation methods of synthesis of hydroxide. So in order to precipitate our metal in hydroxide form, we have to add the base solution drop by drop. Co-precipitation means both the metal precipitate at a time together in the hydroxide form. So I am adding slowly. So you can see slowly the precipitation started. Some white precipitates I can see in the beaker now. This magnesium and aluminum are precipitating as hydroxides.
So it will form jelly. You can see that initially. You can see that.
And after adding all this base solution drop by drop, we have to get pH of around 8.5 or greater than 8.5 to our solution. Then only all our metal salts will precipitate as hydroxides.
So here the question for you people: what will happen if the pH is too high? Suppose assume that the pH gone to 12. So what will happen? So this is your questions. You should tell answer.
So now we transferred all the base solution into metal salt solution. So now we can see the precipitation started. The white color precipitate, you can see it started.
So this is nothing but hydroxide already. That is magnesium aluminum hydroxides. It's already formed, but a complete crystallization. Okay. Yeah.
So in order to precipitate all the metal ions completely and in order to maintain the pH uniformly, we have to stir the solution for 2 hours in this water bath condition at 65 degrees Celsius. So So we will allow to stir this for 2 hours, next 2 hours. After that we will allow for aging. Aging means allow to settle, means allow to grow. Without stirring, we will switch off the stirring and we will allow for aging for 18 hours in this 65 degrees Celsius water bath condition. Then tomorrow by this time our magnesium hydroxide will be ready.
So basically it is now magnesium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxides are formed. It need to condense. So it need to condense and form the well-ordered structure, two-dimensional structure. It is going to be two-dimensional structures. So this 60 degree stirring at 2 hours will allow to precipitate all the remaining, whatever, if there is any residual metal ions are there, they all precipitate as a hydroxide. Then 18-hour aging will allow to what is called as a condensed all the hydroxyl and form the well ordered two-dimensional hydroxide layer will form. That is the purpose we are keeping. Okay. So it will be kept for 18 hours. Then tomorrow we will see that how it will be after precipitation. It is a white color precipitate. Then we will check again IR and XRD we will share. Okay. Today we have taken IR of zeolite which we have synthesized last week. I will share you. You have to interpret. Okay. And here also we will share the IR and XRD so that you can interpret. Okay. Okay. Fine. Go through the PPT which I will be sending. Okay.